Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a fight video predictions, going to be giving my thoughts who will win between Conor and Khabib. Alright, so I wanted to give my thoughts on this one because this one looks like it's going to be a pretty huge fight. Maybe the biggest fight of the year, maybe the biggest fight since Conor versus Floyd. So Conor basically becoming the biggest draw or the biggest name in mixed martial arts in the world, especially after that boxing bout. And I thought he did pretty good. You know, I don't think I did a review on the Floyd versus Conor boxing match there, but I thought Conor did pretty good considering, right? Considering, what he was going in against Floyd, and considering he's a mixed martial artist and he's not just a boxer, right? So Conor is, a dual division champion. Obviously, he's the biggest star in the mixed martial arts world, and he's pretty much making his return, I want to say, against Khabib, because of course he went to do the money fight, right? He made it however much money he made, $1 billion or whatever he got out of that, out of the money fight, because it was such a huge, it's just a portion, but he got paid. Let's just put it that way. Conor's getting paid. Conor's been getting paid. So his last fight in UFC actually has. It's been a while, November 12th, 2016, and this one's going to be October 6th, 2018. So it's almost 2 years since he has had his last bout in MMA because of the boxing stint and everything else he's had going on. And his record is 21-3 and 0, but Khabib is 26-0-0. Now Conor has fought in different weight classes, a couple different divisions here, and he's awesome, obviously, right? He knocks out Eddie Alvarez with that punch, and he's a mixed martial artist. What I really like about Conor is that his timing is really incredible, and he still kind of follows the more classic martial arts, karate, taekwondo. He uses his boxing as counter striking, and with Eddie there, and also with Jose Aldo. I love the one with Jose Aldo because when you watch that one in slow-mo, it really looks like Jose was actually pissed off because of some of this stuff, like the comment where he said he was his daddy and he told him to sit in his lap, right? You guys remember that one? That was good. I actually got the sense of that one that he got inside Jose's head and he actually kind of overcommitted there with him, and he was able Conor was able to counter him pretty easily there with that KO punch. So that was great. So I love that one. But against Khabib here, so here's the thing. So I think everybody is basically going to be rooting for Conor, pretty much. Almost everybody. Khabib probably has some fans, but compared to the amount of fans Conor has, it's going to be few and far between. I've heard that Conor is not doing as much press as he usually does for this fight, and I think it's because he's. So this a little bit of this has to do with momentum, right? You're working on something and. You switch for a couple years and then you want to come back, but it's tricky for Conor to come back because he's coming back against against Khabib, who's a destroyer, right? UFC lightweight champion, right? So an undefeated monster grappler, right? And he's basically been he's pretty much been practicing and prepping for doing all the boxing for all that time. So obviously on the feet, you're going to go with an advantage for Conor. There's no question about that. And could he catch Khabib with something, knock him out? His boxing is going to be at a different level, obviously, since it probably was before he even did the money fight. So after he's done it now, it's like, well, certainly you got to give the stand-up advantage to Conor over Khabib. There's no question about it. But of course, it comes into play. Is he just going to, because he lost this momentum from MMA because he went off to do the specialized, right? Because boxing, in terms of fighting, boxing is just a specialized type of fighting. It's just, rock'em sock'em robots, bop, bop, bop. But you're not allowed to use your feet. You're not allowed to use your knees, your elbows. You're not allowed to take down, no submissions. It's just a restricted, form. It's a specialized form. To be honest, when you look at MMA, it's kind of like an older form of combat, of fighting, really. And it's still extremely popular, obviously, because it's got the the tradition and everything like that. But, for him to go and specialize in that, obviously his hands are going to be incredible for MMA. For MMA standards, he's probably, going to be one of the best strikers. He'll go down as one of the best strikers probably ever in mixed martial arts. But that said, is he going to be able to knock Khabib out? Is he going to be able to counter-strike or catch him coming in if Khabib shoots on him and he's able to catch him somehow with that awesome timing that he has and the visualization techniques he uses and, counter gets him with one on the way in? And I hope so, man. I really hope so. But just based on momentum, just based on the fact that he pivoted and he switched his career in order to get the money. I mean, hey, none of us are going to fault him for getting the money. You got the money, good. You got the money, good for you. And I'm rooting for Conor in this one as well, too, because you do need big stars if you want MMA to continue and UFC to continue. The biggest problem they're always going to have is building and keeping stars, and they have one with Conor, and it's going to be best for them, of course, if he wins. That said, could he just get taken down and mauled the whole time, or basically just get worn out during the fight against Khabib, because Khabib is just if he can take him down, if he can turn it into a grappling match basically, then yeah, man, Khabib will probably take this. So in terms of the predictions, who do you think is going to win, Trev? I would want to see Conor win, of course, as a fan, and just because he's really funny and he's great at promoting fights and everything, and he's great for the sport. But he's lost that momentum. He's switched. He's studied, and he's practiced for a long time the specialized art of boxing and gotten just into that, which, to be honest, it kind of conflicts with, MMA, because the way the styles and the way your the circuits go, the way that you go through things and things become, you drill and you drill and you drill. For boxing, you kind of have to drill differently. So it sort of scrambles, or it screws up those patterns that you've learned, I want to say, for MMA, and it kind of reroutes them and kind of gets them confused. Now he's switching back, right? So granted, muscle memory and everything, the way things were going before, he'll probably be able to slip back into it pretty easily. But is he going to be as good as he would be against Khabib if he hadn't have done that, and if he hadn't have switched like that and kind of done all the press and all the craziness that was involved with that? Long story short, I want to see Conor win, but I don't think he will. I'd be leaning towards Khabib in this one, and I'll go 60-40, 60% chance for me that Khabib takes this one just by ground and pounding him out, taking him down the whole fight, winning a decision, or wearing him out to the point where Conor gets tired. And also because all the press stuff before and everything like that, it's like you lose momentum, you switch, and it's difficult to switch that back, right? It's just the nature. And I know people would like to say, well, you study something else and you learn and you grow and you continue to learn and grow. Yeah, but the body doesn't really work that way. And when it comes down to drilling and everything, and you kind of switch like that and you become more restrictive, then you try to go back. It's kind of tricky, and you just lose that. You lose that continuous progress with regards to the sport in particular, or the art in particular that you're going for. In this case, MMA versus boxing. So those are my predictions. I hope Conor wins, but I'm kind of thinking right now that it might be an upset. I'm thinking I'd be leaning towards Khabib in this one, thinking that he'll probably just turn it into a wrestling match, grappling match, and take him down and win this one. So those are my thoughts on the fight, guys. Let me know what you think. Leave your comments below. Are you like me, where you're rooting for Conor, but you're like, well, Khabib's probably going to take this one? Let me know what you think. Leave a comment below. And if you like this video, please thumb it up below. You can also share and favorite. And if you're new and you want to subscribe to the channel, I would appreciate it. You can do it. You can subscribe at the bottom left. That's it for this one. See you guys again soon for another video. As always, this is Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.